Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at a massive leap in mini PC technology in all its glory. This is the GMKtec NucBox K13. It is powered by Intel's highly anticipated Lunar Lake architecture, specifically the Core Ultra 7 256V. But does this ultra-efficient AI-focused chip actually make sense for a desktop mini PC? Let us find out. Taking the K13 out of the box, you immediately notice the sleek rectangular design. It is barely larger than a smartphone, yet it feels incredibly dense and premium. Inside the package, you get the unit itself, a VESA mounting bracket, an HDMI cable, and a 100-watt USB-C power adapter. Despite the tiny footprint, it houses a remarkably robust selection of ports. On the front, we have two USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports running at 10 gigabits per second, plus your standard 3.5mm audio combo jack. But the back is where the magic happens, in all its glory. We are talking dual USB 4 ports capable of 40 gigabits per second, supporting 100-watt power delivery. That means if your monitor supports it, you can power this entire PC and transmit video using just a single cable. Add in an HDMI 2.1 port and a massive 5 gigabit Ethernet jack, and you have a networking dream. There is also a single USB 2.0 port for peripheral. Let us look under the hood. The brain of this operation is the Intel Core Ultra 7 256V. It packs 8 cores, 8 threads, and boosts up to 4.8 gigahertz. For memory, it utilizes 16 gigabytes of ultra-fast LPDDR5X RAM running at a blistering 8,533 megatransfers per second. Storage is handled by a 1 terabyte PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD, but incredibly, there is a second M.2 slot inside, allowing you to expand your storage up to 16 terabytes total. Now we have to address the elephant in the room that has Reddit and mini PC forums buzzing right now. Intel's new memory on package design means the RAM is physically integrated directly onto the CPU chip itself. Because this is the 256V model, you are permanently locked at 16 gigabytes of memory. It is completely non-upgradable. If you are a heavy video editor or a hardcore enthusiast wanting to run massive local AI models, that 16 gigabytes is shared with the integrated GPU, and you will hit a memory bottleneck very quickly. However, for its intended use case, this thing absolutely flies. The new Intel Arc 140V graphics are a massive leap forward for Intel. In our gaming tests, playing Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p on medium settings with XeSS balanced upscaling, we comfortably hit around 50 frames per second. For an integrated GPU drawing only around 30 watts, that is genuinely incredible. All of the results are from average of multiple runs and without any frame gen. Thermally, the superconducting copper turbine fan does a fantastic job. Even under heavy load, the fan is able to keep temperatures in check and rarely exceeds 68 degrees Celsius. It is unfortunately not whisper quiet and does have a high-pitched whine that will bother some people. For DaVinci Resolve Studio, this mini PC is barely passable. I was able to scrub a 1080p timeline somewhat smoothly. There were noticeable hiccups and delays here and there, but it is still workable. However, working with 4K timeline will prove to be difficult. There were stuttering and long delays that made it extremely difficult to do any work. For a 4-minute YouTube 1080p render, it took about 8 minutes. The same project rendered in 4K kept failing, so that was quite disappointing. This is definitely on the slower side, but respectable if you factor in its form factor. For casual 1080p editing and content creation, this mini PC will have no issues. On another note, if you are looking to upscale videos, then I highly recommend looking at other mini PCs. Even with the limited memory configuration, I decided to test its LLM inferencing, and it performed well for low parameter models. I only tested up to the DeepSeek 8 billion parameter model, since anything larger will not fit into the RAM and will perform too slow to give any meaningful results. It was able to produce around 16 tokens per sec using the DeepSeek 8 billion parameters model. This is definitely respectable if you need access to some local LLM action. Let us break it down. First, let us look at the pros. The Lunar Lake chip offers unbelievable power efficiency and very solid 1080p gaming performance. It even includes a massive 5 gigabit LAN port, which makes it a perfect fit for a microserver. Plus, you get dual USB 4 ports with single cable power delivery and dual M.2 SSD slots for massive storage expansion. Now for the cons. There is an absolute hard limit of 16 gigabytes of non-upgradable RAM. And finally, there is no Oculink port, which is a letdown for anyone needing high bandwidth external GPUs. So, who is the GMKtec NucBox K13 actually for? If you need a silent, ultra-efficient machine for a flawless home office, a powerful media center, or a one-cable desk setup, this is a spectacular piece of engineering. Just make sure you are absolutely okay with that 16 gigabyte memory ceiling before you pull the trigger. Thank you so much for watching. If this review helped you out, smash that like button, subscribe for more mini PC deep dives, and I will see you in the next one.